Would you love to deepen your spiritual connection and create a conscious shift in your life? Do you seek answer to human experience? Well, welcome to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. It's a 2.5-hour safe haven for your questions and Spirit's answers. And you can transform your life right now on VCMG in South Florida. Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor, coach, and medium who can assist you to connect the light within and transcend beyond the limits of all possible experience and knowledge. For the next 2.5 hours, listen and call in toll-free 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247. And watch Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube and share love and light.
Yes, indeed. There's a light right here on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah all across the nation at 866-972-7247. I'm so glad to be connecting with all of you all across the nation. And we're welcoming your phone calls and we're welcoming your participation on Facebook and YouTube. It's a powerful time for all of us to share our insight, our questions. Perhaps we need some guidance from Spirit. This is the time for all of us to shift our consciousness, to shift the energy, to make our awareness more present. You see, when you have to stay in your awareness and you are present, you connect to your inner voice. And that's the voice that leads you to your truth and your guidance. And that which is meant to take you in a new direction. That which is meant to keep you on your path. That which is to connect and transform everything before you. So no matter where you are in the journey of life, you've got to be mindful of what's going on inside of you. Last night we taught a class on inner peace. And inner peace is the awakening to the connection to the divine. And so often we are removed from our inner peace. We are distracted. There's so much going on that causes us to not be in alignment. And perhaps you had one of those days today. Maybe there was a lot going on. Maybe there was a lot of chaos around you. And you really couldn't even hear yourself think. You couldn't settle into yourself. You couldn't feel the energy of what is right for you and what is good for you. It is a time for you to shift and be aware of what's going on inside of you as opposed to all the outside stimuli. There's so much going on. There's so much that is disrupting you and causing you to not notice the nudge of your angels, the nudge of God, the guidance that is meant to put you in the best possible scenario. And in all that chatter and disruption, you miss the clue that maybe is the opportunity that can shift the place that's not right in your life. So what might not be working in your life at this time? What may be disruptive? What may be uncomfortable? What may be a difficult conversation that you're having? Where are we in the journey of family? Where are we in the energy of dissatisfaction? Are we dissatisfied with an aspect of our life, something that's not lining up to make us feel as if we're, yay, in a good spot? Now, sometimes we do a lot of this to ourselves, right? There's something that bothers us, and maybe it reminds us of something else, and maybe we get a little over the top, carry it over a little too much. That can happen. If you're finding yourself having the same conversations with yourself over and over again, then most likely something's not meshing. You're not listening. You're not allowing the universe, your angels, to guide you to a path that is ideally where you could be, should be. Ideally bringing you into the energy of the right person to support you in an undertaking or the right job opportunity, or perhaps wonderful things that can happen to you. But we're not there. We're not there because we're unable to stop and listen. We're unable to take a chance. Many of us can't take a chance and make a shift and make a change. We're afraid. We're afraid to leap. And all right, it's a crazy world right now. So maybe you don't want to take that chance. But what have you really got to lose? If you're not where you want to be, if you're dissatisfied, if things aren't lining up, if there's not the momentum that you need, then how are we going to ever get where we want if we stay where we are? You know that saying. Keep doing the same thing. Expect a different result. Insanity. And there's a little insanity in all of us because one of the things that human beings absolutely dislike the most is change. I know some of you are adventurous and you love change, but You say that. But let's go ahead and try to change something that you're very attached to. You see, Buddha talks to us and says we should not be attached to things and people. Buddha says that we need to be grounded and at peace and calm. And that's not the way most of us focus our energy. We attach ourselves to maybe our title in our job, to our possessions. We attach ourselves to maybe where we are in our placement in society. We attach ourselves to maybe a partner because we have to be in a relationship. There's so many things that we lose ourselves in. And it's almost as if they become more important, or it becomes more important than listening to yourself. No, I don't mean the chatter that goes on in all of our heads. I mean the inner self. The conversation that's never going to steer you wrong, the conversation that's never going to lie, the conversation that's always going to nudge you in the right direction and bring you to the purpose of your life's journey. You see, all of this, everything that surrounds you, whether it's your vehicle, your job, your home, your family, all of these things are just part of a story. Your own individual story that's unique to you, your journey of your soul, that is buried deep within you. And the crazy part of it all is in this journey, we have come to experience the human experiences, but also the divine experience. The experience that keeps us rooted in our spirit, in our soul, in our energy of purpose. This is how we are brought into this world. Distracted and conditioned to pay attention to things of the world, but ultimately we're supposed to exist in the spirit and just be housed in a human body. But that's a bit of a challenge for us, and honestly, all of us can struggle with that, and all of us have, well, a difficulty because since we were born, we've had this issue of not being able to adapt ourselves to anything other than the beauty of the physical world. And now we have to really dig down deep and ask ourselves, what's the spirit? What's the soul saying? What brightens up your life? Not from your physical things, not from your beautiful things, but from the soul. You see, there's a beauty in that that's even more important than all the goodies that we have in this world. And yes, we can have everything, and I'm all for everybody accomplishing and attracting abundance and wealth and having successful businesses and powerful jobs and everything that you want. But if you lose yourself and become attached to those things more than you are listening to your inner soul, then eventually something's going to give. And we are at this point in this world where something's going to give across the board. Something's going to give in the world. Something's going to give in your life. Something's going to shake you up so that you can pay attention. That's the crossroad that the planets are in at this moment. They're asking you, who is the you you've come to be, that you. Not the you that you show on the outside, that you put out in public. The you that has those inner fears and those concerns and struggles, maybe even with your personal identity as to who you really are as a person. The you who has insecurities because maybe in the journey we didn't feel like we were supported, and now we're struggling with adapting ourselves to show up the way others want, but feeling at odds within ourselves because, well, who we have to show up for everyone else may go against the grain of who we were meant to be. But we need to show up because we have these commitments, these obligations, these attachments. We are stuck. If I had $1 for every time somebody said to me over these past 20 years that I have been at the Expedito Enlightenment Center giving sessions in person, I will tell you, it would be quite a bit of money, because every day I must hear at least from 4 to 5 people, I feel stuck. And I've come to realize that stagnation, that sense of feeling stuck, is because there's an expectation that we're not meeting, and that we're neglecting something within ourselves, and we're wrestling with a fear of change. And change is necessary. So what do you need to change? Where are you in the journey of your life that asks this question, where shall I go next? What shall I do? I had the privilege of sitting across from someone yesterday, and we were talking about where she'd like to live. Should I go all the way out west? Should I go north, all the way far above at the top of the Northeast? Where should I go? I need to be near this, and I love this. And so she's on a journey, a quest, to find out where her spirit feels the best. But she is aware of what she enjoys, and she is aware that she's drawn to the ocean, and she is aware that she enjoys peace and quiet. And she just needs to settle into nature. How many of you maybe feel that there's a different place for you than where you are? But I know you're stuck. And you don't know where to go even if you made a change, because you don't really know what's out there. Or if you know what's out there, you don't know how you're going to get from here to there. Oh, it becomes quite the puzzle, doesn't it? This circle that we put ourselves in, we make ourselves a little crazy. But what have you got to lose? Get in the car, get in the plane. Go somewhere, see something. Put your feet down on the ground and ask yourself, do I belong here? Am I meant to be here? Is this something that is good for me? You see, it's very possible that it is. But you won't know unless you give it a try. Oh, you may say, but I don't have that much time that I can take off of work. I don't know how I could afford even to do that, just to investigate. But I'm going to ask you this. In the past, when there's something that you really, really wanted to do, didn't you find a way? It's interesting. People find time and money to do what they really, really want to do, but they can't seem to find the money and time for things that they don't want to do or they're afraid to do. Because let's say you go somewhere and you're like, I like it here. This feels good. Well, then you've got to figure out how you're going to get from where you are to where you would like to be. And that's where the human mind gets complicated, because we think we've got to push our way, figure it out, make it happen. And there are elements of the journey that, of course, in the physical world you do have to do. I realize that. But you have to give it over to the angels. You have to surrender it to the heavens. You have to have a conversation with God and say, God, if it's for my best and highest good, then direct my path. Open some doors. Give me something wonderful so that I could get somewhere new. Help me get there. But then you have to show up and try something. You can't just sit on the couch and say, help me, God, and expect God to just, I don't know, drop an airline ticket in your hand and a check for $5,000 so that you could start the move. Right? It doesn't work that way. At least not directly. But you could have something happen. So what's stopping you from making the change? What's blocking you from opening up to something new? What are you afraid of? You know, as humans, we have a lot of fears. And there are many people who actually have a fear of success. Some of the most successful people have had a lot of fear. They had to overcome so many things just to get there. And even then, they can still have some fear. Fear of being proven wrong, fear of something not going right. Or maybe they get to the top and they're afraid that everything they built will crumble. And do you know if you worry about that enough, it's going to happen? Somehow, something's going to disrupt the whole thing. And why would we fear that once we accomplish something, it could crumble? Because somewhere inside, there's a sense of not feeling good enough or worthy for the success that was accomplished. Some old tape playing in your mind, in your heart. A little imposter syndrome. There's something going on. How many people have you known to get to the top and fall? And get to the top and fall? It happens. But those things don't define them as a failure. It defines them as people who are dedicated and persistent. They're tenacious. So, don't you have some tenacity in you? Haven't you been through a lot of hard knocks at one point or another, a disappointment? Can you find one thing in your life that maybe made you feel that it didn't go the way you wanted and you felt as if you were disappointed? Maybe even crushed over that outcome? And remember what that felt like. And ask yourself, is that fear somewhere inside of you undercutting all the great things that you do, or whispering to you, remember the time when? And it plays that song in your head of, well, didn't go right then, so you might as well not try. That happens a lot with people in relationships. Another thing people say to me is, I guess I'm not meant to have a relationship. It just doesn't seem to be in the cards for me. Well, if you want that, then why wouldn't you be meant to have that? If that desire is in your heart to have a partner, why is it that we wouldn't have a partner? Somewhere inside, we're playing a storyline that we can't let go of, that's blocking us from creating what we want, or what we say we want. Maybe you say you want a partnership, but you don't want to get hurt anymore, so you are guarded. So of course, if you're guarded, you're not going to attract someone who's really going to show up and want to do the work and be a partner. It's important for you to really dig down deep and ask yourself, what is it you want? And what's preventing you from getting there? You see, tonight, as we proceed through this show, and the phones ring, and we answer your calls, we're going to get the guidance that you need. But Spirit's going to want to dig deep and say, look over here, take note of this, and adjust this so that you can get where you want to go. Because ultimately, what any of us want is a roadmap. Before we had all the fancy GPS in our cars, there were people who drove around with a big piece of paper that they'd unfold, and then having to fold it back never quite went back the way it was supposed to. It was a giant roadmap. It might be of your city, of your state, of the country. People had these big maps. And they'd sit there and they'd look at the map and they'd map their way. They didn't know if that way was going to have traffic. They didn't get a notification on their phone. So think how lucky we are that we have some technology that saves us perhaps some time. But they would map it out. But often the real person who was a good map person, they would look for alternate routes in case something went wrong along the way. And they would say, we could take this path and this would take the shortest amount of time, but if we want, we could also go this way. If we change our mind along the journey, right at this juncture, at this crossroad, we'll be able to make the change and go the different way, but still get to the same destination. Do you know your life is a lot like that? You may think that because you haven't gotten to your destination, that you picked the wrong road, you got the wrong map, but maybe you just need to change a little bit of the route. If that's the destination, I can assure you, one way or another, you're going to get there. Now, you can go the bruised up way, driven through some potholes, got mud all over the car. Maybe the AC blew in the middle of the drive, so it's been hot and sticky. And you'd be like, oh, Lord, get me out of this car. But you'll still get there. Or you can take the path that's free and easy, and you don't have to worry, because even if something happens, you're confident that nothing's really going to slow you down. It's not going to break your stride. You're going to keep moving. You're going to make it happen. You're going to get to where you want to go. Don't let the potholes of life disrupt you, bang you up. Don't let the detour sign make you feel frustrated, uncertain if it's the right way. Sometimes people hit one little block and they're like, it's a sign, it's not meant to be. I'm like, no, it's just a little detour. You see, everything's happening for a reason. Well, we're going to pick up this conversation when we come back from this commercial break. I'm so looking forward to talking to all of you right here on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, here on the True Oldies station, and we're welcoming your calls at 866-972-7247. And yes, we'd love to chat with you on Facebook and YouTube. Matter of fact, in the commercial break, I'm going to pop in there and see what's going on. Sure to put your question in the comments, and we will be answering your questions there as well. Again, 866-972-7247. We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors. I am Sarah Spiritual. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
WDJA AM Delray Beach and in Martin County on 1450 WSTU Stewart. Broadcasting from the H2 Ocean Studios. Your natural sea mineral-based healing product since 2001. Burns, cuts, dry eyes, oral care, hair care, reef-safe sun care, and even pet care. H2 Ocean has you covered. Online at h2ocean.com. That's h2ocean.com. We are South Florida's home for the True Oldies Channel.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
Hi, I'm Sarah Spiritual, the founder of the Expedito Enlightenment Center. I would love for you to visit me at my spiritual oasis located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Tree of Life Plaza in West Palm Beach. Come, feel the energy, sample my spiritual sprays and oils, participate in one of my spiritual development classes, and have a personal reading with me, Sarah Spiritual. Let's see what Spirit has to say. You can call the Expedito Enlightenment Center at 561-682-0955. Not local? Visit me, Sarah Spiritual, at sarahspiritual.com for products, classes, and to book your personal session.
This show is furnished by Sarah Spiritual.
The content, information, and opinions expressed during the related show are those of the show personalities and guest alone, and not those of Vic Canellis Media Group, its parent, affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
Welcome back to the next 2 hours of Spiritually Speaking with Sarah as we continue our uplifting and empowering spiritual discussions to transform your life. A gifted spiritual advisor, coach, and medium, Sarah Spiritual will assist you to connect to the light within and transcend beyond the limits of all experience and knowledge. We have another 2 hours to listen and call in 866-9-SARAHs. That's 866-972-7247. And watch Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube, and you can share the love and light.
Yes, indeed. There is a light right here on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah all across the nation. And we're welcoming your phone calls at 866-972-7247. Now, life has a series of opportunities. And some of them we miss because we get sidetracked, we get distracted, we get frustrated, we get uncertain as to which is the path for us. So rather than make the change, we sit there and maybe do nothing. But this is the time where all of you can make a change. And I invite you to choose the change that is going to bring you the most peace, make you feel the most comforted, bring you in alignment with who you are. Don't lose yourself in the what ifs anymore. You see, the world around us, it's changing. It's going to continue to change. I know, maybe there's a time in your life you wish we could go back to, but we're not going back. My spirit guides are like, boys and girls, it's a whole new world now. And this new energy, well, it's a little dense at times, and you've got to know who you are to accomplish what you want. And I know there are people who are concerned about their work, their job, their careers. They're worried about their finances. They're worried about affording things. And even if you're not so tight on your budget, you still don't want to spend more money on things that we never had to spend that much on before. So there's a lot distracting us. But you have to remember that you are a divine being, and that divine being is essentially always protected, always provided for, and always being guided. You have to step into your power and the stillness, the quiet within you. And tonight, it's a full moon. It's not just any moon, it's the pink moon. And what are full moons for? Some people use it for intentions, not really what it's for. So let's be clear on what we do in a full moon. We release, we surrender. Yes, you can charge your crystals in the full moon. But it's not about charging crystals. It's about freeing yourself from what is blocking you, freeing yourself from the things that maybe you carried over for many months that need to be cut, released. Where do you want to go next? It's a time for forgiveness. It's a time for grace for yourself. It's a time for you to look at the moon and say, "O great moon, that casts your light upon me, deliver me from all the things that block me. Cast the light through the path of darkness so that I can clearly see my way. In whatever difficulty, obstacle, trial, tribulation I may be enduring at this time, let that glimmer of light shine brightly enough so I know exactly where to place my footing, so that nothing catches me off guard, and I am delivered into the beautiful light of the rising sun that brightens my life and lifts me up and infuses my cells with divinity. Take me to the path of the sun that opens up the pathway to my destiny. And allow me with every step and every movement on this night of the full moon to release all that has been holding me back, to free me from the shackles of my own insecurities and fears, my own conditioned beliefs, my own doings, of which I release now. And in the releasing of this full moon of all that no longer serves me, I free myself. I give myself grace. I forgive myself. And in doing so, I know that as I stand beneath the beautiful pink full moon and the light of God shines through this moon's essence and the light shimmers around me, that I am free. And that it's time for me to move forward and no longer lose myself in the darkness of my fears and worries. For I'm a powerful being. That's what we should say at the moon. We need to release. We need to let go. If you need to do a little ceremony, write some things down that you want to let go. Full moon's not happening till it's around 10:30 tonight. Somewhere around there. So whenever it is officially, but it's full tonight, so the exact moment you can look up and take yourself outside. Get yourself a little old pot. Get yourself a little lighter. Write down on a piece of paper everything that you wish to release. And maybe you want to release loneliness and sorrow and grief and heartache. Maybe you want to be free from emotions that aren't serving you any longer and you don't want to be consumed by them anymore. Write them down. Maybe you want to be released of connections with people that are just weighing you down. Or maybe this karmic entanglement with someone. Or a pattern that you keep repeating. Maybe you have a pattern in a relationship that, well, keeps weighing you down. Keeps repeating itself. And guess what? Let it go. Let it go and be free. Let it go and be open to what's to come for you. Trust that God has your back. So if you're sitting there saying you want your life to change, well, change begins with you. Write down what you want to change. Let it go. Put it on that paper and then light the paper on fire. And just visualize in your mind everything just being released. And as the smoke comes up from the paper, up into the atmosphere, just see it all being taken to the great moon, for it to be transmuted into the light of the great central sun tomorrow. And it'll be a new day. I know you'll feel better. It's a time to release. Now when we get to the new moon in 2 weeks, that's when we manifest. That's when we create. That's when we write down what we want to accomplish and we pray on that. We focus. And we always ask that if it's for our best and highest good, let it be. Because yes, we have ideas. We're human. But God may have a better version than you could ever imagine. So I always say to God, please deliver me this and do it in your will. And if it is your will, make it the way I see it or better. For you know better. You see, you could have a vision of how you would love your life to be. And you have it all mapped out. And I have clients who know every detail of what they're going to manifest. It's fabulous. But then I always have to say, leave room for God. Because God's plan has a bigger version. You see, we can only see through the lens of what we can imagine. But there's infinite possibilities that come to you from God. So why wouldn't we want to manifest with God? Be a collaborator. At least bring the paintbrush for God. And say, hey, I'd like to use these colors. What shall we create? And let God show you. We get stuck on stuff. I like to call it stuck on stupid. I don't know if you've been stuck on stupid, but I've had a couple of those moments where I was just so bent on it being a certain way, and then, poof, it turned out a different way. It was like my journey here to Florida. I thought I was going to live a life one particular way. And look at me here. Talking to all of you was not on my list of things to do. I had a plan. And God laughs at us with our plans. But now I realize, and I want you to realize, that sometimes God lets you have your little plan, lets you think you have it all figured out, and then you're like, oh my God, I had this plan, and then I got slammed to the ground. And we think of it as a bad thing. Oh, because it was so uncomfortable. It was so upsetting. You were just screaming inside going, I can't believe this happened. And some of them are truly tragic things that knock us down. Some are inconveniences, but sometimes it's an unexpected passing of someone, and we just feel like we've been forsaken, and we just don't understand why. Like, how could God allow that to happen? Why? And why me? And we go into that depth of darkness. You see, sometimes it's really for God to get you in the right place, experiencing particular things, so that in the right time, God will raise you up, and you'll understand why certain things happen. You'll understand why if you had a path that you wanted to manifest and you had a dream job and all of a sudden it gets ripped from you and you fall down and maybe almost lose everything and you're like, I can't believe this happened. I thought I had it all together. And then God comes in and is like, okay, well, you're going to squirm for a while because that's going to toughen you up. Because this way, when I give you what I have for you, which is by far greater than what you were planning, you'll know how to keep it. You'll know how to fight for it. You'll be able to make it happen. And nothing will ever make it crumble. And that's what God does. So if you're at that moment where things have fallen down and you think it's all crumbling, it's okay. That means there's a better path. And even if you made a misstep, even if you were all on track and you did something that you know you could have handled it differently, don't beat yourself up. We've all done that. Do not lose yourself in condemnation. Open your heart and love yourself. And through loving yourself and trusting that even though you as a human made a misstep, that the angels and God are going to get you off that detour and get you back on the path. And everything's going to work out. I don't care how messy it looks. I don't care what the doctors may diagnose. There's always a better plan. There's always another outcome than what you're telling yourself. You have to believe. You have to believe that you're the conduit of energy. You're the conduit of grace. You're the conduit of love. You're the conduit of life and light. And in this life and light that you have a power. It's the same spark that created you, that gave you the ability to manifest. So if you can manifest things and jobs and create a great resume or pick the perfect house, if you could do all those things, why can't you get yourself through something that maybe is scary or uncomfortable? I had a conversation with someone earlier today. There was a health thing going on. It's not that we want to turn a blind eye, but there are options there. So she's going to follow her heart and pick the path that makes her feel good. But in order to do that, there's some things that she'll want to change to facilitate that path. So don't let things anchor in you that are against what you desire for yourself. If there's something indicating that life is not going the way you planned, or there's something odd going on in your life, or something uncomfortable, or a health scare, or a family squabble, don't let that determine what's going on with you. It's not going to define your outcome, only if you let it. You have the power. You have the power to stand in the light and say, no, not today. I choose not to experience this. Now, there may be a part of it that you have to navigate because you might already be in part of it. But you have the ability to redirect the route and give it to the heavens to assist you. And if it's in the will, that would be God's will, you're going to get yourself out of that lickety-split, just like that. And then you'll wonder, how did I ever do that? How did I get through that? How did I know to do that? How did all that come to me so easily? Because it was a divine plan all along. You just had to find your courage. You just had to find the ability to change. You see, most of us are not willing to make that change and believe that there's a better version of a story. Well, we have a lot of stories to tell you here tonight on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. And I want to thank everyone for their support at the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. We just got the award for being the best metaphysical supply store in West Palm Beach. We're so glad to do that and be of service for you all. And we appreciate your support. And we'd love to see you there at the Expedito Enlightenment Center. It was great fun. You can take a look at our award on Instagram or Facebook under Sarah Spiritual. And we're really glad to be of service to the community. This year is going to be 20 years. Oh my goodness. This year is going to be 17 years for radio for all of you. So we're excited to be journeying with everyone and navigating changes. I've seen people literally grow up in front of me. They started out little 5-year-olds singing at a big event we had back in the days when we used to throw parties at the Expedito Center. And it was so much fun to have the kids sing. And now they're graduating college. It's kind of trippy, but they are. And we've helped all of you navigate your life's choices. And that's the real privilege, to share with all of you, and all of you share with me, your families, your stories, your vulnerability. And that's why we love to be as transparent and direct and caring as possible, because, well, if it wasn't for the kindness of strangers, I don't know where I would be. So for me, it's a wonderful gift to have an opportunity to be the kind stranger to you. And then once we meet, well, it's like being family, yes? Because where else can you let your hair down and just, I don't know, ugly cry in front of someone? Yeah, that's me. That's what goes on in my reading room. Sometimes people apologize. They're like, I don't even know why I'm crying. And they're only in the room for about a minute or two. And I'm like, that's all right. You did good. Some people start crying when they walk through the door. Don't worry about it. Right? We've got to release. We've got to let go. And we have to feel safe. And this is a safe haven, a safe space for all of you. Questions in the feed on Facebook and YouTube. We're going to get to your questions. Phone calls at 866-972-7247. I'm going to pop into the phone lines. I'm going to see what we've got going on. And we've got to go to Seattle. We've got Manisha on the line. Manisha, how are you today in Seattle? Good to connect with you.
I'm doing good. Thank you.
Good, Manisha. Good to connect with you. And, you know, we're looking for you to kind of, I don't know, feel like you're going to color outside the lines and express yourself a little differently as we approach your birthday. Are you feeling the need to be in a more creative space for yourself this year?
Yes, I've actually already started.
Beautiful, beautiful. And there's a lot of self-talk that's been going on. You've been doing some work within yourself, some healing, also kind of expressing yourself to others more as well. Is that also correct?
That is correct, yes.
Manisha, what is your question for us tonight? What guidance can Spirit and I give you?
I am, So actually funny that you should say all of that, because I did. I just started writing a book that's been on my heart for a while. I just completed my journal, started my podcast.
Wonderful.
So things are kind of moving along for me in that manner. However, I do still need a full-time job for now, or at least something that is going to come through
Right.
so that I can get some bills paid around here. I applied to a couple of jobs, and I'm moving a little bit further in the process each time. I kind of revise everything,
Right.
but still nothing is biting. So I have 2 last jobs that are in the works, and I'm just
Yes.
hoping one of these are going to be it for me.
Well, here's the goal here. We want a job, but we want a job that's going to fill in the space because we know we are destined to do something else, correct?
Correct.
So when the job offer comes, you're going to take it. And you're going to give yourself a timeline as to how long we're going to be at that job. And you're going to create the energy necessary in your personal accomplishments and creativity to offset that job in such a way that we don't have to have that job. That's the goal, correct?
Correct.
So this year is the perfect year for you to have started all of that. The writing, the podcast, the stepping out, finding your voice. And then as we get to your birthday, we're going to be moving you forward and connecting you with a lot of people. There's a lot of networking. Now, when I look at the jobs that you've interviewed for thus far, they really weren't the best match anyhow, correct?
Correct.
Now, these last two that we are interviewing for and we're further down the process with, one of them seems to have potential, seems to have the culture, the environment that you're looking for. Is that also correct?
That is 100% correct.
And when I look at that job, are we getting ready to go? Are we waiting for the third interview in this job, please?
Not for that one. The other job, there's a third interview next week.
Okay, I see a third interview. Okay, that's for the other job. The one that you would prefer to get, we are in the very early stage then? Is that where you are?
Yes.
Okay. Spirit makes me feel that by April 30th, you'll be much more settled.
Okay.
Little difficult for me to see which of the jobs will actually be the offer, but I know that the one that you've just begun the journey on is really the one that we would prefer.
Correct.
But don't be too rigid, because both jobs are good jobs. So understand that. I know we want to hold out for the perfect job, but you can always take the job that offers, and if the perfect job takes a little longer, we can always switch up if we have to. Because you're in a position, and hear what Spirit's saying to me, that you don't want to be in a place of lack or fear or scarcity, so we want to get some money flowing in. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
Okay. So from that perspective, we will get abundance flowing, and we will open up the other spigot so more money can come in, and we will see what comes in from your podcast, what comes in from your writings eventually. I know that takes a little time. And then we're going to move the energy to a higher level position. And you never know. Where you end up may be the place that you can grow the most. So trust the process. You ask God to deliver you to the best and highest job that is for your best and highest good. But I do feel that you'll be in a better position by the 30th. You should know where you're going, what's going on. And continue to submit your resumes in the meantime, all right?
I will. Thank you, Sarah.
You're welcome. Thank you so much, and we look forward to talking to you again. Bye for now.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. 866-972-7247. We are welcoming your questions right here on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah on the True Oldies. And we would love to connect with you on Facebook and YouTube. We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors. And then when we come back, we're going to go back to the phone lines, and we're also going to visit our friends on Facebook and YouTube. And we're going to share with you some things that we've got coming up at the Expedito Enlightenment Center. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Do you know me? Do I know you? Have we met before? I've been standing in the room before I walk through the door. Do you know me?
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center for an extensive array of spiritual products, crystals, books, classes, readings, and healing services in a beautiful spiritual oasis. You must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Come feel the energy and explore our unique products. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955. Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITO enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
You are listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual, at 866-9-SARAHS. That's toll free, 866-972-7247. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
Listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah all across the nation at 866-972-7247. I'm so glad to be able to talk to you tonight right here on the show and live on Facebook and YouTube. And I'd love to talk to you in person. If you're here in South Florida, I'd love to see you at the Expedito Enlightenment Center at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in West Palm Beach. Really glad to say we just won the first place prize for the best metaphysical supply store in West Palm Beach. Love to see you there, have you pop in, maybe book a session and check out the beautiful energy that we have, the beautiful wall murals, the crystals, the oils, the books, the candles. We've got so many cool things there to help you on your spiritual path. And we've got Calvin Cates coming next Saturday. And Calvin will be there on the 8th and the 9th, right there at the Expedito Center, giving us our crystal bed healing. So we'd love to have you join Calvin Cates for crystal bed healing. He comes about once every 5 weeks or so to give you energy balancing and kind of clear the energy of old stagnant fragments of past things and emotional attachments and even energetic attachments. So it's a very powerful experience. You can go to the expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com, EXPEDITO, expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com, and that's where you'll find out all about Calvin. We're going to go back to our phone lines, and I've got to go to Coconut Creek. And in Coconut Creek, I've got Bobby on the line. Bobby, how are you tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Bobby. Good to make this connection.
It's good to talk to you as well. And I've got a question. I've actually, for my birthday, which was just a couple days ago, I went to a place in Coral Springs. I enjoyed the Expedito Enlightenment Center more, but the place I went to was pretty good.
Good.
But I do enjoy Expedito Enlightenment Center more. And I bought one of the rings I bought, which I'm wearing right now, is an Angel Wings clear quartz ring.
Beautiful. Yes. And you love your angels. You love your angels.
I do. And matter of fact, I have a question because I have a feeling that I may have a new one in my life, but I just want to make sure that I'm not making this up or nothing like that. But I heard this song about someone named Prudence, and I just, I don't know, I felt something there. I felt a connection there, and I thought I heard from an angel with that same name of Prudence. I thought, I wonder if I'm just making this up. I need some signs. So do I have an angel named Prudence on my team of angels?
Let me check and see for you. You know, the angels do give us signs. And, you know, Bobby, you're pretty well tuned in and tapped in. And so you're very much aware and you are able to still yourself within. And so the gift that I see being given to you by this angel is different than Ariel. This angel has a different presence, a different energy. It is a feminine type energy, but is the energy of creativity, it is the energy of expression, it is the energy of mystical energy. It is a beautiful energy that this angel has. And if you are feeling called to call her Prudence, then that is a powerful guidance that you're receiving. And I was just notified.
Ahead,
I don't know
I'm sorry.
what song were you listening, because there's a song by the Beatles that John Lennon sang that is called "Dear Prudence." What song did you hear? That's the one. Well, thank goodness for that. Yes. So that's the one. So, dear Prudence, we're going to ask this angel to step forward and give you all the clues along the journey so that you can be a light keeper yourself and you can have a path of creativity and you can find your voice of truth to be of assistance to others through the tribulations that you have endured in your life. You have much to share with others to help them find comfort, help them get back in their rhythm, help them accept things that they cannot change and still find grace and gratitude and all of that. You see, you've mastered that skill set, my friends. So here we are. You have a new girl in town, and that energy, yes, you can call Prudence. I do feel that was a sign. She depicts herself. She's not saying the name to me, but she is depicting herself as someone who's here to help you with your creativity, your expression, your voice, your light energy to help other people. So this is why she has come into your life. So, you know, angels are not attached to names. I don't know if you know that, and everyone listening, but they're light beings. They have frequency, and they are seated right next to God. So do you think they really need a name that's human? No, they don't. But if it makes it more comfortable for us, makes it more accessible, gives us something to visualize, helps us feel more aligned, then they play the human game. But if we were to talk to the angels, you know what the angels say? If you were to see yourselves as we see you, there would be no discontentment.
Wow.
You see, they see everything that we see, and we are in their perfection, even our mistakes. And sometimes I look at the angels and I go, I'm sorry, are you watching now? Because I seriously don't think this is a perfect moment. And to them, it's all perfect, right? Because it's how we learn to express ourselves. It's how we stumble and get up, and how we learn to grow and appreciate ourselves and tie up loose karmic ends with people. So what we may think is a terrible happening in our life, or a big disagreement, or somebody wronged us, or we wronged someone, it's all perfect to them because it's playing out the path of God for each one of us on our soul journey.
Now, is she an archangel, or is she just a regular angel? Or
Yeah. Well, they're all pretty special, but yes, she's a regular angel. She's just a regular gal. Okay, so just think of her
I kind of
as,
hear her laughing a little bit.
yeah, one of the underlings, right? So she's part of the archangel teams, but she's beneath the archangels. The archangels are directly underneath God, and then there are legions of angels beneath them. You know, I don't know why, but the way they've depicted...
she works for Ariel.
Okay, so as they depict the energy, right, and they bring that energy forward, they kind of set it up almost like a corporation, right? God being at the top, and then we have everyone underneath, and the groups get bigger and bigger, and then we have humanity, yes, and that's the bottom of the barrel right about now. So we've got to all raise our vibration. So we've got our angels here helping us. So if you're feeling that she is an underlink, follower of the energy of Ariel, and she is one of those legions of angels that are attached to Ariel's beautiful energy, then you go with that and you work with that because she's working with you. But yes, that song is a definite sign, and you most certainly are not alone in that journey.
Well, thank you so much. And hi, Prudence. Welcome aboard.
Welcome aboard, yes. I think we all could use a bunch of angels, and people don't even realize that they have so many angels. And I've had this beautiful experience with people when I get to tell them about their spirit guides and their angels. And I got to sit with someone the other day, Bobby, and I saw this beautiful fairy with this wonderful woman, and the fairy took me right to this moment in time and gave me the exact age of the woman when this fairy really was very prominent in this woman's life. And she described herself in this like lake and sitting on a lily pad and this beautiful energy. And she's like, oh my God, I would go to this lake. When I was at that age, we were always at this lake, and there was this lake that we would always be by, and it had all these lily pads. It was covered in lily pads. There's no way I would know that, right? But this is what the fairy is telling me. So you see, there's no way that you could know what you know, but they tell us what we need to know, right? And if that's the feeling we get, we trust it. You see, as I'm hearing that when I'm talking to the woman, I'm like, okay, that seems a little far out there, is what my human mind would say, but I've learned to trust what I hear. And so I'm like, okay, I see a fairy, and the fairy's telling me this, and I'm going to share this with this woman, and here goes. And then I get the feedback that, oh my God, that's exactly how it was. And then I always go to my head, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening, right? Because it's so cool. And so be playful with your angels, be playful with your fairies, be playful with your spirit guides. Everyone has many angels and many spirit guides. Sometimes I sit with people, Bobby, and they have 30 spirit guides that are with them. Sometimes they've got a few angels and a few spirit guides and a whole bunch of loved ones tagging along. It's always an interesting show to see who's with people. Spirit guide and angel session always like gives me that information. I'm sorry, Bobby, what did you say?
It's almost like now, it's like, as you mentioned that, it's like I'm hearing these, like, almost like when you're in a school cafeteria, it's like I'm hearing a bunch of voices in my head, like, it's like the room's filling up all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, it should be full. You do have quite a bit. And here's the interesting thing. If you just heard the cafeteria, I've got the third graders in the cafeteria in my head all the time. Like, 'cause I just hear so much chatter. And I have to kind of dull out all the buzz of everything. Because remember, I hear my spirit guides. I hear the spirit guides of other people. I pick up on conversations people are having in other rooms that they don't even know I can hear what they're saying, right? And so I'm like, there's so much going on. And I learn to zoom in on exactly where I need to be. And that's what I focus on, right? And so they're there. And, once you connect and you have access to the angels, even through all that, and you hear the angels, you can literally feel their presence. And then it's almost like you hear dead silence for a moment, and then you hear the whisper of God come right through. That's when you know you've got the right connection, right? Because the angels are paving the way, and they're opening up, and they're raising our vibration. Because in order for an angel to connect with you, Bobby, they have to bring their vibration down a bit. But if your vibration isn't high enough, you would never know that they're talking to you. So that means that you've been working on your vibration, you're raising your vibration, and here they are. And they're helping you identify them, in the case of Prudence, with synchronicities, right? So these synchronicities are lining up so that you can continue to raise your vibration. That's whenever we talk to someone on the other side, we always have to raise our vibration. That's why in the monologue, I was encouraging people to find that stillness within. And, take yourself out of the conversations that you're having in your head and just be still for a minute. And that's when you can really identify what's most important. and the real voice you need to be listening to, not the chatter, not the opinion of other humans. You know, we all got opinions. We don't want to talk about those. We really want to hear what we're meant to do. And this is what you're learning to do, Bobby. So great job.
Thank you so much, Sarah.
You're welcome. My pleasure. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
866-972-7247. Get those questions in Facebook. Got those questions in YouTube. Let's take a look and see who's got a question before I go back up to the phone lines, because I've got quite a few calls I've got to get to, and I'll be going to Delray in just a minute. But pull up my Facebook, pull up my YouTube. Let's take a look and let's see who's there and what we've got going on, because it's really an important time for us to get to the heart of the matter of what the questions are on Facebook. So who do we have on our Facebook feed for us today? Let's take a look. Do we have our questions for us there? Let's see here. Well, we don't see them popping up right here at this moment. So while they're getting that ready for me, I love technology. I'll just love the way things roll. So as we're waiting for that, let's go to Delray. Let's pop into Michelle. Michelle is in Delray. Michelle, how are you tonight? Good to connect with you.
Hello, Sarah. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much.
So I've been listening to your monologue, and I feel like I'm relating to it because I'm in a point in my life where I've had a lot of heartache and negativity, and I've fought through it, and I'm just trying to find my way now. And I just seem like I got a roadblock.
Yeah.
And I do my affirmations. I have my Archangel Michael statue in my room. I look to him for guidance, and I don't know what to do. I'm just like stagnant, I guess. I don't know if that's the right word, but I just want more positivity. And I've come a long way from where I was, but I still feel like I need some more guidance. I don't know what to do.
Well, it's a very important time for you, Michelle. The time for you to recognize your power. And the time when you feel like the darkness is enveloping you. A time when you're feeling that you're being challenged in ways you didn't know possible. A time when you feel like the people that you thought you could count on, there's not the right people anymore. Doesn't mean there aren't some. I do know you've got some close ones, but I do feel that you feel let down in many ways. And in this journey of obstacles and hardships, trials and tribulations, the stagnation is the preparation. You're so used to doing and accomplishing and going and visualizing and manifesting. You're like, there's a glitch. For you, there's a glitch in the matrix. It's not connecting. And you can't imagine why. But God needs to slow you down. See, Michelle, based on where you are in the journey of your life, and we move you to your birthday time, a lot of things begin to open up for you. Kind of get out of the rut that you're in. I see you with more people, more connections. I see you feeling a sense of community and tribe. Michelle, were you going back and forth something about a move, or did you think about moving and then change your mind? What is this movement energy that I'm seeing? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I where I am living right now, I was looking to move because I had gotten divorced and I got this place because of it, and I wanted to like get rid of it because I wanted to get that part of my life over with. Right. But then I thought, is it really the smartest thing for me to do right now? Because I'm like, I was not in a happy job. I was not in a happy place in my life. And I have 2 kids. They're adults, but they still depend on me. Yes. And, you know, my whole life I've always made sure everybody's taken care of but me. And in my mind, I was like, I can't move on because I have to make sure everybody's happy. I want everybody happy. Correct. And I mean, I like I said, I just feel like I want to move on. I want to get just get happy in my personal life. I mean, I finally found a position where I'm back with an old person that I worked with, and I'm having a good time. I'm enjoying it.
Yes.
But I still just feel that, it's funny because I have like a pain in my leg, and somebody said, look up the spiritual reason for the pain in your leg, and it said the reason you have that pain is because you're trying to move on and you can't. And
yeah, the inability, the inability, Michelle, to move forward. Exactly. Yes.
Right. And I don't know what to
Hay.
do because I want to.
Okay. But what if I just said, hang on a little longer? Okay. Because as you were talking, I heard this. There was a song that Diana Ross sang. It's my turn with no apologies. I've given up the truth for those I've tried to please. And now it's my turn. It is your turn. But that's hard for you because you don't know how to do you. There was another song that said, I've been to paradise, but I've never been to me. That song, Never Been to Me, you need to look that up, right? Because the person did all these things.
I never heard that one, yeah.
Yeah. The person did all these things in life, right? But she'd never taken the time to do her. And she had a much more grandiose, adventurous life than I know you had based on the song story. But it's the point that you have never put yourself first. And you are stuttering and stumbling in finding happiness because it almost seems elusive happiness right now. You've had disappointment. You've had betrayal. You felt like you weren't supported. Now you thought you had your life figured out. You're very methodical. You're very reliable. You're very loyal. And all of a sudden, poof, the rug is out from underneath you. It's not going the way we thought it would. Now we have to redesign ourselves. And you are correct. It is not the time for you to move. You see, changing environment will not bring you the happiness that you seek. The happiness is an inside job. I have a friend of mine by the name of Rob Mack. Great friend of mine, fabulous man, and he has a happiness book. I believe it's called Happiness from the Inside Out. He is a happiness guru. Get that book, very powerful book. I don't have a copy in the store right now, I don't think, but get the book by Rob Mack and do the work. You need some time. You're stagnant because it's not time yet. I can tell you what I see coming. Are you ready? What I see coming is you're not going to move yet. It's not time to move. It's not the right time for you to move. I do feel work is going to kind of build up your momentum. You're going to start to feel a little better about yourself. I feel like your rest is off, so we need our rest to be better. I feel like you might feel tired and drained and maybe feel like you sleep a lot, but your rest is not there. So we need to get your rest back in alignment. So something in your body, I'm not a doctor, cannot diagnose, but something in your body is out of alignment. So we've got to take a look at that. What is out of balance in the body? Get that physical rhythm back. Then, yes, we're doing affirmations. I am this. I am the power of this. I am the creator of. And whatever you're saying, fabulous. But now we need to go and droll down, straight down to prayer. And you need to sit there and you need to say some prayers. First prayer I would suggest for you is the 23rd Psalm. The second prayer I would suggest for you is the 27th Psalm. The next Psalm I would suggest for you is I would suggest that you go to the Power of Psalms and you read Psalm 57, Psalm 65. So that's 23, 27, 57, 65. These are going to open up, okay? And what I love about Psalm 27, it says, though my father and mother forsake me, you will raise me up. You see, you need to be raised up. Your vibration needs to go up. And as I fast forward you through this year into the beginning of 2027, I see you meeting someone. So we have relationship coming. We have networking and building a new tribe of people. And we have a lot of financial abundance coming to us in 2027. So financially, you're going to be in a much better place. And yes, your children are grown, and yes, they probably don't really need you. But for you right now, that's part of your purpose. And that's what's defined you all these years. And you're attached to that defining moment, that purpose that you've lived for. So of course, we're not going to abandon our children and just pack up and go. But it is a possibility, as I look, that in 2027, into 2027, 27 into 28, my spirit guides kind of move us forward, then you may pack up your bags and go somewhere else. But right now, we need to stay with what's familiar, what's affordable, what's easy as you rebuild. You're in a redesign. Every day you wake up and you say to yourself, Michelle, who am I? Who am I? Who am I going to show up for? And today is going to be a great day. And the first person you're going to show up for is you. And when you say, who am I? You're going to say, I am the woman who is abundant. I am the woman who is successful. I am the woman who is content. I am the woman who is at peace. I am the woman who is co-creating with God my future. And I am the artist of what I desire. And I am unfolding all of the aspects of life right before me. And on this day, I'm taking the first step towards that. And then the next day, you're going to say the same thing. And then you're going to say the same thing. And you're going to put it out in the energy. Before you know it, the momentum's going to build. As the momentum builds, you're going to shift your consciousness. And you're going to be in a whole better vibration. And then we're going to feel better. You see, happiness is a choice. And you could say, but Sarah, I want to be happy. Sarah, I'm feeling stuck. Sarah, I'm feeling frustrated. Of course I want to be happy. Who wouldn't want to be happy? But it's a choice. And somewhere you need to have a conversation with yourself as to who inside of me does not believe that I am worthy of feeling happy just for me. Now, Michelle, I do not want to end this conversation. I want to continue because Spirit has more to say to us. But at this moment, we have to pop off to commercial. Can you stay on the line? Okay. And then when we come back, we've got more to share with you. All right?
Thank you. Okay.
You're welcome. Stay with us, everyone. We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors. And then when we come back, we're going to pop back up to talk to Michelle and Delray. Stay with us. We'll be right back. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. And that's me, Sarah Spiritual.
There's a light. There's a light that shines down. There's a light that brightens up my day. There's a light leading the way. Oh, there's a light. There's a light. There's a light that opens doors for everyone. Oh, there's a light that touches hearts. There's a light to open everyone to love.
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
WDJA AM Delray Beach and in Martin County on 1450 WSTU Stewart. Broadcasting from the H2 Ocean Studios. Your natural sea mineral-based healing product since 2001. Burns, cuts, dry eyes, oral care, hair care, reef-safe sun care, and even pet care. H2 Ocean has you covered. Online at h2ocean.com. That's h2ocean.com. We are South Florida's home for the true oldies channel.
Hi, I'm Sarah Spiritual, the founder of the Expedito Enlightenment Center. I would love for you to visit me at my spiritual oasis located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Tree of Life Plaza in West Palm Beach. Come, feel the energy, sample my spiritual sprays and oils, participate in one of my spiritual development classes, and have a personal reading with me, Sarah Spiritual. Let's see what Spirit has to say. You can call the Expedito Enlightenment Center at 561-682-0955. Not local? Visit me, Sarah Spiritual, at sarahspiritual.com for products, classes, and to book your personal session.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
Come visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center for an extensive array of spiritual products, crystals, books, classes, readings, and healing services in a beautiful spiritual oasis. You must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Come feel the energy and explore our unique products. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955. Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITO enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
This show is furnished by Sarah Spiritual.
The content, information, and opinions expressed during the related show are those of the show personalities and guest alone, and not those of Vic Canellis Media Group, its parent, affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
Welcome back to the next hour of Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, as we continue our uplifting and empowering spiritual discussion to transform your life. A gifted spiritual advisor, coach, and medium, Sarah Spiritual will assist you to connect to the light within and transcend beyond the limits of all experience and knowledge. We have another hour to listen and call in 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247. And watch Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube, and you can share the love and light.
We are back here live on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah all across the nation. And we're welcoming your phone calls at 866-972-7247. I'm so glad to have the opportunity to speak with you. And we've got to go back to our phone line. We're in the middle of a conversation. And of the nerve, we had to take a commercial break. We were on a roll. I was on a roll. Spirit was on a roll. And Spirit's like, don't lose the connection. And I said to Spirit, hello? We're on radio? You're not running the show? I got to go to commercial. So I tell my spirit guides to calm down, but they're back. We're in the building, and we've got to go to Delray and finish our conversation with Michelle. Michelle, are you still with us?
I am still here.
Great. So, Michelle, what Spirit really wanted to sum up as far as inner going on, this stagnation, is also coming from some hidden fear. And the fear is caught up in the energy of why you've had trouble putting yourself first all this time. Now, I understand when we have family and we have a partner, it's very easy to lose ourselves, but it's been a trait of yours for a very long time. And so when we go back into time, Michelle, and we go back into the energy, because my spirit guides were saying she needs to do a soul integration. You need to go back into time, and we need to gather the energy of your little girl and see who's stuck, not feeling like she is as powerful as she'd like to believe she is, and she's not feeling like she's good enough to have it all, to be able to give it all and receive it all, right? You've given, but you really haven't been receiving. Now, that's not always true across the board. I realize you have some great support people that are in your circle, but when it really matters here, you're kind of feeling a little alone. Is that correct?
Well, I am.
Okay. So when we go back into time, and my spirit guide takes me back, we go back to the age of, we go to age 9. First they had me write 8. I crossed it out. We went to 9. Was there a lot going on for you when you were a little girl back at age 9? Were you feeling a little tested, not feeling supported at that time? Did we have to be an adult before our time?
Yeah, that's a long time to think about. I don't know. I mean, I know, like, when I was younger, I was like left to the side because I had 2 older brothers and they were like more important. So,
yes. Okay. And so that makes sense.
You know, I always can remember that.
So if you weren't feeling important and your brothers were priority, and, you know, it's just the way the family dynamics were, right? It's not that anybody was being addictive against you, but it's just how the chips fell, as they say, right? Or the cookie crumbles.
Yeah.
But there you were, not being acknowledged and seen for who you are and your own uniqueness, and, you know, you kind of got pushed aside. So that's very learned behavior, to push yourself aside. And there's a work I do called Soul Integration, Michelle, where we go back in time with the help of 12 archangels known as Theo, consortium of 12 angels that channeled through Sheila Gillette. I had the pleasure of working with Sheila Gillette and working with Theo. Matter of fact, we've had Theo on the show so many times. And Theo comes through and gives us the guidance to go talk to little Michelle and find the orphan that's there, that's creating the stagnation, because she's afraid to put herself out there, your orphan, and get hurt again, disappointed again, and not feel fulfilled. And so she's the one who realizes, I'm still stuck and not feeling happy, because when your brothers were being front and center, there's a part of you that wasn't feeling happy, right? You're a tough girl, and you most certainly sucked it up and worked with what you had, but you kind of done that a lot in your life, sucked it up and did and worked with what you had. And now we can't do that any longer. And so Theo would love for me to take you back into time someday, do a session of soul integration. You can read more about it on the website. Matter of fact, there's one of my monologues attached to it where we talk about it. It's a little different than inner child work because it's a very soulful, visceral experience. And we would spend time together and go back in time, Michelle. I think that this may be a key to unlocking the stagnation. You will move along. You will have progress. Things will pick up. Get that book that we recommended by Rob Mack. Great book on happiness from the inside out. And check into that. And I would love to have the opportunity to do soul integration with you in the near future. All right?
Oh, sounds great. Yes, definitely.
All right. We could do it on the phone, a video conference, or in person. whatever works best for you.
I'd rather probably in person. I mean, I'm in Delray, so I'm not that far from you.
All right. Cruise on up, catch me on a Saturday, and let's make it happen. All right.
Sounds great. Thank you so
bye
much,
for
Sarah.
now. My pleasure. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye. 866-972-7247. I gotta go to Facebook. I gotta go to YouTube. Let's see who we've got. I think they got the questions queued up here. So let's see who we've got on our Facebook friends here. I know we've got a lot of friends following us on Facebook here, and let me kind of check and see what we've got going on. So we're going to see who we've got on our Facebook page here. We're going to get our questions in track here. Are we there? Hello, hello. Facebook questions. We're waiting to see what our questions are. Don't know what's going on. All right, we've got Samantha Valencia. Samantha says, our house in the middle. Oh, no, she didn't say that. That's a song. Okay. Samantha Valencia says, hey, our house feels dark and negative, almost oppressive. You know what? I know what that type of feeling feels like. I've helped many people clear their houses of oppressive energy. We feel something or someone dun, 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 is affecting our home. What is it? Well, Samantha, let me take a moment and go into your house here, because when I walk in the front door and I take my energy and I move through the energy, and I want to go straight in the house, and I need to go up to the back left. So in the back left, I don't know whose room that is, but that's where it's holding a lot of energy, right? And the energy feels like it's energy, Samantha, that was brought into the house. It's energy that's like someone else's energy that came in with them, someone whose energy is not a pure energy, and that energy just kind of stayed there. So I don't know if we had someone staying at the house for a while or visiting recently, and it's just really heavy. Now, I've got plenty of things, Samantha Valencia, that we can teach you to do, and I've got quite a few products on my website that can be of assistance to you. And there are certain instructions we would give you as to how to smoke out. So smoke out the house, clear out the house. We've got yard protection. We've got reversing spray. We've got Archangel Michael spray. We've got incense, which is a resin that we burn on charcoal that we would clear out. So Samantha Valencia, it is an energy of a spirit. It is a spirit energy that's there. The spirit energy is really feeling like it wants to kind of hold everybody down. That's why I feel like it comes from somebody who doesn't want to see your family move forward and prosper. It's got a very heavy jealousy energy there, and it's a very dominant energy. So we would love for you, Samantha Valencia, if you could message me on Facebook, or you can call the center and you say, I need to clear my house, and we can make the recommendations for you. You call the center, the Expedito Center, at 561-682-0955. You can talk to Andrew. He'll connect you with all the right products. He knows exactly what to tell you to do. Or message me directly on Facebook, and I will have a conversation with you. It's nothing scary. It is something that happens. Energy builds up. I want everyone to understand that you all are energetic beings, and you have an aura, which is your lint filter, and your lint filter picks up energy, much like lint in the dryer. And if you don't clear off your own aura, if you don't clear off the energy of your house, wash down the walls, clear that energy, shift the consciousness in the house, every argument you have in your house, bam, the energy stays. Every bad thought you have, all that worry that you have, bam, that energy builds up. If you have a bad day at work and you don't pray before you come in the door and don't brush your energy off, bam, that comes in the door, right? So we've already got stuff brewing in all of our houses that we've got to pay attention to. But then enter someone who doesn't have good vibes for you or doesn't wish you well, and maybe they're a little jealous of you, and they're in your house, and they have that, what they call the evil eye, that little bad energy. So what happens? That energy just bam, just sends everything over, and then it kind of builds this momentum. It begins to form this energy field and begins to become oppressive. So it is something that can be corrected, Samantha Valencia. So we look forward to being of assistance to you. I can tell you that for you personally, it is a great time for you to advance yourself and make connections for your work so that you can prosper more this year. Thank you so much for your Facebook question. We are going to take another question from our Facebook and YouTube page. Let's take a look. Who do we have on our next question here? Anne-Marie Gambino. She says, how is my 2026 going? Anything in the future? Well, Anne-Marie, I can tell you this, that this year for you is really a good time for energy of romance, energy of love, energy of future love that's the future, the person that you spend your life with. It is the energy for you to make a choice as to where you want to go, as far as where you want to live and how you want your life to look. Do we want to stay where we are, which I'm pretty sure you will for a while, but I could also feel this pull of wanting a new, fresh start, a new feeling, and that, my darling, is something that can bring you positive changes. I do feel that you are doing well at work, and this is a good time for you to stay the course at your job, but love is something we want to focus on this year, because there's an energy that tells me that we could really be on track for the future partner for our life. We thank you, Anne-Marie Gambino, for your Facebook questions. We look forward to connecting with you in the near future. Bye for now. We're going to go back to our phone lines at 866-972-7247. And I've got to go to Coral Spring. I have Anna on the line. Anna, how are you tonight?
Hi, good. How are you?
I'm doing well, Anna. Good to make this connection with you. How can I assist you tonight?
So this is my first time calling in.
Yes.
This past year for me has been a complete scramble. A lot of my plans have been uprooted. I've been doing a lot of internal healing, and it's just been really rough.
And you've been out of balance,
I do feel
right?
like...
You've been very out of balance, is that correct?
Very much so.
Yeah. And I can also
Yes.
take you back, and if I can, I really need to go back to, we're in the year of 2026, good Lord. And so let me go back to 2024. 2024 actually began a series of shifts and changes for you. And I think you thought like, okay, I'm going to jumpstart, I'm going to be good. And then things started to crumble instead of build. Does this make sense to you?
It does, yeah.
Okay. And when I look at the energy around you, the first thing they make me aware of is that you will be feeling things in more order and balance. I know that we are on a journey of healing and giving yourself permission to honor self and love self, but I also feel that people around you have not been supportive of you as well. And so there's a little sense of, who's in my tribe, who can I really align myself with. I feel like we've questioned relationships at this time as well. Is that also true?
Very true.
Yes. And, well, the best laid plans. But maybe you learned something. Maybe we learned that we attracted people who were not really there for the right reasons, and perhaps not even emotionally available. Avoidant is the word I hear. Did you find that you were dealing with people who were, particularly one person who was really more of an avoidant type person?
Oh, yeah, you're nailing it right on the head.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear in my head a dismissive avoidant. Okay. That sounds like a particular person who really, made you feel like, hey, we're great. And then you're like, what do you mean we're not so great? But we had all these plans, but you said, oh no. That's not what I said. Oh, no. And you're like, wait a minute. I know I'm not going crazy, right? And so you're ready for something. You're ready for something more. And I can tell you this, that in this journey of, I'm going to say loss and mourning, because we are mourning what could have been, you are also learning more about yourself, which is part of the journey of your healing. But it's also so important that you understand that you yourself tend to please people and put people before yourself. And you're also very clear on what you want and what you don't want. But you always tend to bend for others. We need to pull it back, and we need to fill your cup. And we need to let people show you who they are before you decide you think you know who they are. This makes sense to you, yes?
Okay. It does. It makes a lot of sense to me,
It makes
yes.
a lot of sense, right? You got a little ahead of yourself, and you're usually really good at reading people. Not this one. Why? Because it hooked in part of the time that you had a plan and you really thought, I found something that makes me feel whole. Only to find out that you were whole, and they took all the pieces and smashed them on the floor. But you put yourself out there. So now you're questioning your own judgment. Now you have your guard up. Now you don't really know where to turn and how to navigate moving forward and not get yourself in the same pickle. Well, from what I hear from the spirit guides, you also learned that when I spin you back and I take you into the energy, they go 5 years old. 5 years old, Miss Anna. What was going on in the household? Was there a move? Was there something that kind of made you feel a little displaced when you're about 5? It's a window of time, so it may not be exact, but where were we at 5 years old?
No, I can't really remember if there was something big that happened at 5. We didn't really move anywhere. We kind of stayed put. Yeah, I don't really know.
Okay. So somewhere around that age, and it could be something that's an experience that has nothing to do with family, but experience out in school, when you started to go to school.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there was a not feeling like we fit in. You attracted someone who made you feel like you were a queen, only to have them then turn around and make you feel like you weren't any of the things they told you you were.
Mm.
So in this moment in time, know that we are on the journey, and that as we put life in order and balance, which gets a little stronger the closer we get to your birthday, and you surrender this, and you tell yourself, I am open to receive love, I am able to receive love, I am worthy of love, love comes to me with ease and grace, I do not have to chase love, for love will find me, I am open and receptive to all loving experiences, I'm open and acceptive of a wonderful vibrational match for me. I see partnership in 2027. So you will attract someone, and there will be a connection here. I understand that there's a lot more behind the story of what went on between you and this person, and I also know that there's a lot of other things that simultaneously went on at the same time, which made you feel like your boat was sinking. Is that correct?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And we're looking to revamp something in our work life here as we define ourselves a little bit more. Is that true, Anna?
Kind of in the thoughts of not knowing what to do.
Okay.
And thinking what path I'd want to take.
You will define that this year. We are at that crossroad, and I see work being redesigned, redefined. And so I feel that you are here because you are the person who you know how to get things done. You're the person who people count on. You're the person who can get the work done, and your mind is very quick, right? And so you want to feel challenged, but you don't want to feel taken advantage of. You want to feel as if you're in charge, but you realize you've got to start somewhere, right? I feel like they put a book in my hand. When they put a book in my hand, Anna, that book in my hand makes me feel like, sounds like we might have to further something by adding additional learning to something so that we can progress ourselves. Is there a study that we're looking to add to our repertoire at this time?
At this time, I don't know. I always had my sights set on psychology.
Okay. And that's set your sights on psychology because it's in your heart, correct?
Yes.
You want to influence people. Do you think that God gave you that dream in your heart because it was your imagination? No, it's there. So sign up for what you need to sign up for. Take what you have to take to finish your education and move yourself forward in that. Whether you have to pace yourself slowly or jump all in the pool. Right? You are the person people count on. You are not afraid of work. You can get this done. Highly intelligent, highly reliable, and most certainly can carve this out. And when I fast forward you and I take you into the energy of 2029 coming into 2030, I cannot believe that came out of my mouth, but I really feel us very well positioned for something really exciting, and it's a big career year for you around that time. So whatever you still have yet to accomplish, get that going. I would love to speak with you in person someday, Anna, or on a virtual call or a phone call, depending what suits you, but I would love to pick this up. I know there's a lot of behind the scenes going on, and so Spirit gave me words that we felt comfortable sharing with you on the radio, and we trust that we have been of service to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, Anna, how did you hear about the show? It's your first time, but how did you find us?
I was just flipping through the radio in my car, and I landed upon your monologue, and it just hooked me. And so I kept listening, and I called in.
Great. Well, we welcome you to our family, and I look forward to being of further assistance for you. All right. Bye for now.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
You're welcome. Bye. 866-972-7247. We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors, and then when we come back, we've got some more calls on the board, and I sure would love to hear from you. So give us a call right here on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah on the True Oldies station. I am Sarah Spiritual. I'd love to connect with you if you'd like to learn more about what I do and how I do it and where I do it. Then go to sarahspiritual.com. That's where you'll find all the information. And we are having a fabulous time here on our show. And from what I understand, we are on show number, heard it was 807. So yes, that's a fabulous place to be. 807 live show of connecting with all of you. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Did you call me with your song? Because you know that you know me. Every soul has its story, like a movie playing in a different theater.
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
Come visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center for an extensive array of spiritual products, crystals, books, classes, readings, and healing services in a beautiful spiritual oasis. You must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Come feel the energy and explore our unique products. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955. Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITO Enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
You are listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual, at 866-9-SARAHS. That's toll free, 866-972-7247. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube. At 866-972-7247. So glad to be connecting with all of you. And I would love to hear from you at 866-972-7247. We're going to also go back to Facebook and YouTube, so let's get our questions ready there. But in this minute, I've got to go to Dade City. I've got Doré on the line. Doré, how are you tonight?
I'm still here in Dade. Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, you're here in Dade City. Of course I hear you. Yes, you are in Dade City.
And I want to get out. I want to get out of here. I have to get out of here. Yes. When do you think I'll be going out of here, and to where? Where do you see me going?
Where do I see you going? Interesting.
Yep. To move to.
Yes. See, I feel like it's a bit of a challenge to get you down to West Palm. That's what I'm feeling. Have you felt challenged trying to get to West Palm?
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course. But now I have a new realtor I'm going to start with here, and I have a feeling this is going to be quick. And I don't have a place to go to yet. I'm thinking maybe Century Village, Golden Lakes, like a condo thing. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I mean, do you pick anything up on this?
Yes. Let me take a look.
Or do I move to a whole nother state?
No, I don't see you moving to a whole nother state. I do not see that. I feel that, this year is actually meant to be a year of financial transactions for you, Doré. So this timing is right as far as where we are in the journey of our soul, which is so important for you.
Yes, it is.
When I look, Century Village is here down in the South Florida area.
Yeah, in West Palm, right.
Yes, in West Palm, right. But then there's also showing me a place. You said Golden Lakes, but I see something else. I want to see if I can identify this here with spirit, because it's interesting that they're showing me something other than Century Village, and I feel like it is in the energy of Boynton Beach area.
What about Lake Worth?
There's something about Leisureville.
Oh. Yeah, that's kind of towards Boynton Beach, around there. That's like the sister community to Century Village, Leisureville.
Oh, there you go. Okay. So thank you for that clarification. I'm like, it's kind of hard for me to... Spirit doesn't really know all the communities, HOAs,
Yeah, I
and
wasn't
all
even
that fun
thinking
stuff.
about that place. I mean,
yes.
When I was... yeah. Yeah. And, you know, the health of myself and my pets have not been good here with all this hurricane damage and mold and mildew in the house. And
yes.
My health has really not been good, nor my pets. So, yeah. I mean,
and you're going to sell the property as it is, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And are you looking to buy or to rent here? Because
I want to buy because the rents are so high.
Okay.
I've been looking online at a lot of places, and
yes.
You know, my only income is my Social Security and what I get from the sale of this house. So, you know, it's tight.
But you can make it work. And the universe will support you.
Yes, right.
You can make it work,
so,
and you're going to downsize a bit as far as stuff,
yeah,
right?
a lot.
Because my
right.
guys
are
telling me you need to clean it up.
Yep.
You've got a lot of things in your house, right? So we've got to let go of a lot of things.
Too many.
Yes.
Right.
Just put your pets in a little papoose and keep it moving, right? Just get yourself because you have to imagine if you have some mold issues in your house. From what I've heard, and I'm not a mold expert, but that mold is probably on in a lot of things that you don't even realize.
Oh, yeah,
so
absolutely, especially from the hurricanes where the water was leaking through the roof inside this house all over everything I have.
Yeah, so most of those things really you don't dare take with you, right? So that'll kind of clear the process up quite a bit for you. You won't have any problems with that. Just throw everything in the garbage and just start with the bare minimum and just start fresh.
Right.
Because that's something that you want to... This is the perfect year for this to happen for you, Doré.
Right. And what do you pick up on my health right now? Because I'm really...
Yeah, you're really struggling.
I'm down to like 82 pounds. Mm-hmm. Got a lot of brain fog going on, just body pain. My vision is really poor.
Yeah, but I'm not a doctor. But the first thing that they're talking about is, clearly there's some inflammation in your lungs. There's also inflammation in your body. My guys are taking me to your sugar, your blood sugar, so I feel like that's off a bit. And did you ever have a procedure for cataracts, please? Because they're saying something about cataracts.
I need to. I'm like 10 years overdue for them.
Oh, okay. So that might be the key to blurriness. Not sure, but that kind of sounds that way to me, right? So.
And I have a broken molar in my upper right mouth that's down to the gum line, and I think that's creating a lot of infection in me, with sharp pain in my ear, jaw, throat. I mean, excruciating pain. So I got to take care of that. I know that.
Yes,
but I just need to get settled somewhere first.
Understood. You should be able to see a doctor, though, right? Don't we have medical care? Yes?
Well, here it's I've been so absorbed in this house and all the problems with it that I haven't taken care of myself very well at all.
Okay. Well, you're going to need to do
And
that.
I look like I've aged 20 years in 2.5 years. You'll be shocked when you see me again.
Well, we know that if you can just get a little bit of medical care in the meantime, it's going to make a big difference, right? We do need to have some blood work done, and we need to get an idea of what we need to work on. And, you know, you keep putting it off, and it's not something to put off. Otherwise, something critical could happen.
I mean, I'm at the point every day I think I'm going to be going to the hospital by ambulance. But my pets are here, and that's what keeps me here, because I don't have anyone to take care of my pets.
Understood. So that's why we need to get the blood work done, and we need to see what can we do to kind of curtail this for the moment so that you can be in a better place.
Right.
Okay. But it will work out.
But do you see me moving soon?
I do feel that you're going to move, and there's something about the month of May into June so kind of around your birthday on, I just feel like that's when
May
things
10th,
get moving.
yeah.
We can have a contract, we can have something, yes.
Yes, good. And Marilyn Reisner in New York, she is declining quickly. Do you get anything on her, like...
Do you know Marilyn's birthday for me, please?
Yeah, May 21st, 1937.
Okay. This is a tough year for her health. This is a tough year for her health.
Yeah, it is.
And it's going to continue. So she's got to be on top of her game, and she has someone coming in to help her. Keep an eye on her.
Not very much. Only a couple, like maybe 2 hours twice a week. That's it. She needs a lot more, but she won't accept the help.
Okay. Well, I do feel like she needs a little more help, and I do feel like she's navigating some underlying things that can really prove to be very problematic, troublesome. Again, I'm not a doctor, can't diagnose. But given where she is on her journey, this is a tough year for her health. But she is a strong woman, my guides tell me. And so if anybody can bounce back from a difficult time, it is this woman, because she's got a lot of power. And, the word I'm hearing is chutzpah. She's got a lot of chutzpah.
Yeah.
So if anybody can get something done, it is Marilyn. But she does need to get a little more aggressive in caring for her health and caring for her levels in her body here at this moment. And I do feel like there may be something going on in the digestive tract, possibly something even in the intestinal tract, right? Intestinal tract. I just feel like there's something that's very off in that, all right?
Yeah, right. Well, thank you, Sarah. I hope to see you soon. And I've really been putting out to the universe, I want to be out of here by June 1st. You know, hurricane season starts June 1st, and, you know, I don't want to be here through 3 more hurricanes like I just was.
Understood. Yes. Well, we're not, I don't know what the weather people are saying, but Sarah Spiritual is not going to put any energy in having a hurricane. Last year, I didn't see us really going through too much, right? And we didn't really get hit with hurricanes so badly in South Florida. I know some things might have pushed through you because you're north of us.
Yep.
But, I feel that, I haven't sat with Spirit to see what I see, but I really don't give it a lot of power so that we can see what will happen, right?
Not feeding that, right.
I know.
Okay. Well,
All
God
right,
bless you.
Thank you.
Blessed Easter, and I just pray that I get back there soon. All right.
I believe it's
God
possible.
Bless.
Thank you. God bless you, Doré, and your pets. And,
thank you.
Go get that blood work done, because I think it'll be a great eye-opener and give us an idea of what we can do. It's just a few minutes of your time, all right?
I will. Okay. Thank
all
you.
Right. Bye for now. Bye. Yes, it's always challenging when we are faced with health things and we've got other things going on in our lives. And so what do? We put those things off, right? We're like, oh, I'll take care of my health, but first I've got to get this done, and first I've got to get this done. And then somehow the health sneaks up on us, and then something that was maybe simple becomes complicated. So, and I know there's many reasons for people doing that. I've sat across from people who, they didn't have health insurance for a while, and so they knew something was wrong, but they had to kind of push it down and manage it and then handle it when they got health insurance. Most certainly we are all in challenging times, and each one of us is going to be asked to rise to the occasion. The world is shifting and changing, and it's not the way we remember it. So whatever your story may be, and we've heard so many stories here tonight, and we've explored where people are in their journey, you have to trust that there's a power greater than you working on behalf, and that you need to surrender to that power. You need to trust that God doesn't forsake you, even though I know you might feel like God did forsake you. You may feel like you're stuck. You may feel like you're suffering unfairly. You may feel as if nothing works out. You may feel that you're alone. But even if you don't have people that you can count on, the angels can put all the right people in your path. All the right people in your path at the perfect time. And you have to trust that. You have to believe that there's something greater working for you, and that everything in the universe is designed to move you forward. Nothing is designed against you. We interpret things that way because there are moments that's uncomfortable. Sometimes we feel like we're in the middle of our own plague that just hits us and we can't seem to break free, and it seems to take forever. Maybe it's a year, maybe it's 2 years, maybe it's 3. But whatever the timeline may be, it's there for a reason. And it's just something that will fortify you and shift you. And as long as you believe that you can come out the other side, as long as you trust that you will be delivered from an affliction or a conflict or a situation, and as long as you show up and you do what you know in your power to do, and you do the best you can do, then things always have a way of working out. You see, as humans, we've had this conversation with ourselves but it didn't work out the way I wanted. But it worked out. I remember when I was going through some things, and they're kind of work-related, and there was so much going on when I had first met my spiritual teacher, and I was kind of navigating a kind of weird work environment. It was a little difficult. And, I was like, oh my God, all this is going on. And I went to my teacher, and my spiritual teacher's like, well, you need to pray. And I'm like, I am praying. They're like, okay, well then pray and light a candle and clear your energy and then trust, right? And so I remember it worked out, but it most certainly didn't work out in a way that I had wanted. And I was like, oh my God, this happened and that happened, and I don't understand, because I was praying and I did everything I was supposed to do, but it didn't really turn out in the most positive of ways. It's still kind of negative. Even though it's changed now, it's just still kind of got a negative feel. And I remember my teacher looked at me and said, can you imagine what it would have been like if you weren't praying? Can you imagine what it would have been like if you weren't cleansing your energy? Can you imagine what it would have been like if you weren't doing positive affirmations and visualizing? Can you imagine? And I went, oh, kind of shut me up. All right, well, it didn't turn out as picture perfect as I would have liked, but I guess it could have been worse. Sometimes I think we forget that as humans. We forget that things could be worse. And it may not be the way we want at this moment, but it really could be worse. And you have the power to turn anything around. You have the power to attract all the abundance you need to deliver you from wherever you are. You have the power to bridge the gap that feels empty and lonely with connection to your angels and your guides. And I got to tell you, angels and guides make great company. And, sometimes we're alone because we need to share our lives with ourselves right now. Because most humans put everybody before themselves. I mean, we just heard Doré. She's worrying about selling her house. She's worried about her pets, which all very valid things to concern yourself with. And no, who's going to watch the pets if she goes to the hospital? But if she keeps putting off looking at what she could do to maybe prevent ending up in the hospital, the path she's on is more likely to get her in the hospital than taking some proactive measures. But we have to think of all these other things we've got to handle, so we're not the same person that we could have been because we're so distracted. Kind of brings us full circle to what I talked about when we first connected tonight. What has you distracted? What's separating you from your divine? Tonight, in the energy of Passover, we know we want to be connected to God. With Easter coming on Sunday, we know we want to be connected to God. And whatever your belief and your connection to God may be, for there's so many paths that lead to God, make an effort to be connected to God. See, God's got all the power. And if we connect to God, then we have aspects of that power. We don't become God, but we can use that light to transform anything in our lives. If I ever wanted people to believe that you have the power of light at any point in all this almost 17 years I've been on radio, I got to tell you, besides 2020, now's the time. And if 2020 didn't wake you up, well, fasten your seatbelts, because 2026 is a big wake-up call for everybody. So you need to know who you are. You need to believe in something greater than you. You need to stop being so attached to the things that you think are important and hold on to the energy of loving yourself and honoring yourself and asking your soul, what did I come to this life for? How can I be of service? How can I assist others? It's a time of great change for humanity. And I know people are on all different sides of the fence and arguing and pointing fingers, and it's really not a pretty look for all of us. But yes, we are entitled to our beliefs and our opinions. But you know what they say about opinions? See, God sees the big picture. We just see what we are being shown or what we choose to focus on. You take a step back, somehow, even though we don't know how, things will shift and change, but it'll bring us to a higher level. The world is changing to raise our vibration. And everyone needs to band together. Stop saying who's right or wrong. Stop criticizing. I know we see things we don't like. But in the spirit of Easter, in the spirit of Passover, let's rise above all of this. Let's choose love. Let's focus on love. Let's focus on all the hatred and the division being balanced. Let's see people being kind to each other. Let's see people respect each other and each other's opinions. And let's see peace. It's been something humanity has had trouble with ever since inception, but we have to keep visualizing peace. Peace within will help bring peace without, the outside. We need to put that peace outside in the world. Well, if you're not at peace with yourself, you're struggling with who you are. And that vibration is what's in the energy. And if you times billions of people, the collective consciousness of people being unhappy, dissatisfied, not knowing who they are, being divided, feeling uncomfortable, being the energy of judgment, criticism, maybe self-loathing, maybe insecurities, maybe people who are on power trips, right? There's a lot going on. And that's the vibration that's out in the planet. So next time you get frustrated, next time you feel uncertain, next time you don't feel supported, remember, you've got a power. And you have the power to choose how you govern your emotions, and you have the power to accept that there's a light, not just inside of you, but all around you. If you could just hook onto that light or hitch your wagon to the star of the divine, then you can soar above everything. And as you change within yourself, and people notice the change, it becomes contagious. And rather than spread some crazy virus, why can't we spread love? Why can't we spread peace? Why can't we choose to look at ourselves and make peace with ourselves and forgive ourselves? This is a time where we all have to make a change. And I'm honored to be here every Wednesday night to assist you with that change, to guide you, to give you what you need at that moment, so that maybe, just maybe, you see things a little differently. You don't have to be perfect. You just need to be open. You need to trust. And whatever you don't have an answer for, you need to surrender. Because when you surrender, that's when God takes you right up. I don't mean to heaven. I mean lifts you up all above all your obstacles and places you exactly where you need to be. So pay it forward this week. Do something nice for someone. Be kind. Trust that the universe is always supporting you. The angels are around you. And that in these holy days that we are in, find that holy place within yourself, and peace be still. We appreciate you listening here on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. We will be back next Wednesday night at 6:30 p.m. till 9 p.m. to answer your questions, to visit with you on Facebook, to share this experience. We'll be climbing up to show 808, and I can't wait to see what Spirit has me talk about next week. Thank you so much for sharing time and space with us. If you want to learn more about what I do, or connect with me, or go to the Expedito Enlightenment Center, just Google Sarah Spiritual. We'll pop up, and go to sarahspiritual.com. Love to see you. Love to connect with you. Have a blessed Holy Week. Good night. God bless you. And I am Sarah Spiritual.
There's a light that shines down upon me, and there's a light that brightens up my day. There's a light leading the way. Oh, there's...
This has been Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. You can hear and speak with Sarah Spiritual every Wednesday from 6:30 to 9 p.m. Each week, Sarah Spiritual and Spirit answer your most important questions as you navigate through life. Listen and call in next week and let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit guide you. If you didn't have a chance to speak with Sarah Spiritual tonight, visit Sarah at sarahspiritual.com. You can message Sarah Spiritual at Facebook and follow her on Instagram. Tune in every Wednesday from 6:30 to 9 p.m. with more from Spiritually Speaking with Sarah.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
WDJA AM Delray.